possessive. Rather one of the people I know is alone in summer and land, all of my ethics possessive. Rather cause that I have rules away like a rent check dated and signed. All the young and old got to have something for their mind. I'm the kind who needs to save my senses. Will you work my shift? I cannot stay around. I would never wear that suit and tie. Please keep my fish alive, so with my mail. Then before I'm on my door, keep me moving like before. Help me get back to Antietam. They got chains for your trouble. They got a meal for your meager aspiration. I'll be bathed in blue in them bygone ringing springs. One of us will live to see tomorrow. I was born twice the same morning. First one, the real one. The second when the doctor felt the big good. I send the baby food soaring. Splash it over my bed and it's spilling a pile all over the wood. I have often crawled out from my playpen by myself, chewed upon the wrong electric wiring, and I'd fly out in my sleep and cannot prove why. Probably dreaming someone let me fall. My jaws are so sore from me to pushing through, and all I do is sleep and coo. Cows come home and run more blood. Help me get back to Antietam. They got chains for your troubles. They got a meal for your meager aspiration. I'll be bathed in blue in them bygone ringing spring. One of us will live to see tomorrow. Slowly I'm riding. Roll me out fast, I'm a part of the past, and my past be spy. About the bedclothes and hiding. Stow at the crows, war provided, you know what the book bricks can hide. Me in your leaves, I would be glad to spend some time. I'm the guy who needs to save my senses. And if ever you become a teardrop on the wine, I will be the one who let it fall. And I'll slide inside when I hear you name in mine. We'll be there to take it out. I'll be here in your side. Help me get back to Antietam. They got chains for your troubles. They got a meal for your meager aspiration. I'll be bathed in blue in them bygone ringing springs. One of us will live to see tomorrow. Help me get back to Antietam. They got chains for your troubles. They got a meal for your bigger aspiration. I'll be bathed in blue in them bygone ringing springs. One of us will live to see tomorrow.
You just witnessed Scott Stuewe. I'm Tony T, and this is Ohio Homegrown. Ride, the new song from Tony T's debut CD, Demo Dog.
The sun is going down, nothing but the sweet sound of the surf giving up its
Downloads can be had for 99 cents at cdbaby.com/artist/Tony T4 or TonyTBand.com. Click on the audio tab.
say every day with you.
Okay, and as I said before, Scott Stuewe is on the show today. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Tony,
Nice to have you.
that's great to be here.
Yeah. You are kind of a unique guy.
Well, I guess that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. I hate to ask you this question because it's hard to throw yourself in a box. And when you're an artist and you're doing what you do, you just do what you do. But if you had to classify your style of music, how would you do that?
Well, I played in a series of bands growing up. We always called it rockabilly swing when I was in a band. But lately, it's been kind of more fingerstyle-ish. And so it's really fingerstyle. It's kind of folk, but it also has, some musical theater roots. I mean, it's kind of more melodic than most folk. It's changier than most folks. It's got more to do with swing than it does with folk from a musical standpoint. But it's, we called it rockabilly swing, give somebody to hang something on, okay, I get what that is, sort of.
Yeah.
So that's what we called it, but I don't really call it anything now. I just wait for people to look puzzled.
It's Scott Stuewe. Well, as I saw when you played your first song, you do have a very unique style. How did you, I guess, evolve to the finger picking thing? That's kind of a whole nother.
I started out finger picking pretty much from the beginning. I started playing guitar when I was like 4, and I played piano for a while. And my music teacher was terrible. I mean, she was a great music teacher for somebody who wanted to play piano and who wasn't 4. But I think I got donut crumbs on her keyboard or something, and she kicked me out.
Oh boy.
So my mom said that I had to play something, so I got a guitar, and I pretty much went to hang out at a place where I could take lessons as kind of a walk-down place, and like a never-ending series of junkies teaching me guitar. And so I'd have somebody new every 2 weeks, like, Judy can't play today. She's all jello-eyed in the back. And So I went with whoever was there. And, one guy said, here, let's just tune it this way. And he would put it in an open tuning and say, now come back next week and write a song. And I was like 5.
Wow.
So it was really pretty fun. And so then, I got really into Arlo Guthrie and that kind of thing. And my mom took me to see him. I learned to play Alice's Restaurant when I was like 8. And I don't know if I might have been 10. I think my mom and I went to see Arlo at the Cowtown Ballroom when it was the Kansas City Institution, that very famous place. Anyway, that's sort of the bare bones of what it is that I learned to do. Open tunings, finger picking, rag, and I never really learned any rag by anybody else. I always had sort of average guitar teachers who couldn't quite teach me anything, so I never learned any covers to speak of.
Well, it sounds like you got thrown right in the fire right away, and you learned to swim.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And actually, the other thing that I tried to do, I had lots of different periods where I was doing different stuff, but had a 8 or 10 year part of my life where I was a chef, and that kind of took me in one direction. I didn't do a lot of music during that time, but I did live in New Orleans for that time. I was in New Orleans from 79, 80, 81, okay. And was down there. Learned to dance to New Orleans music, and listened to a lot of Professor Longhair. Actually heard Professor Longhair's last gig on earth.
Nice.
And so when I got back, to Kansas after running away from a bad, scary girlfriend.
You were in New Orleans, right?
I was in New Orleans. Anyways, we got back to Kansas City and kind of picked the guitar back up and decided I wanted to try and get a kind of a rolling rhythm like they got in Barrel House. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what that was like, what you did when you were trying to do that. And I didn't have a guitar model. I was just trying to sound like Professor Longhair, but I didn't never
let me
achieve
stop
that.
it just for a second. There's a lot of people that don't know who Professor Longhair is. There's some
Well, Professor Longhair, he's like, people have called him the Bach of rock. He's like the beginning. He's a Storyville piano player that was, a Barrel House boogie piano player. Had a couple of big hits in the New Orleans music scene, but never really crossed over. I'm not sure any of them were big hits anywhere but in New Orleans. Songs like Big Chief and Tipitina, they're big, but they're dance songs, and they're kind of, the music is kind of based on on parade music. Okay. So it's
a lot of cut time.
Yeah, a lot of cut time. It's swing time, and everybody's in the rhythm section. Everybody's playing rhythm. So the horns, the bass, everybody's playing rhythm, and it's like a big party, and it's actually the way I heard him is exactly the way he was on his last album, which was Crawfish Fiesta, which is a really great album if you ever hear that. But that's exactly the way he sounded when I would hear him with that same unit, the same people he played with then. And it's really an awesome kind of sound. It's like, it's got this, kinetic feel. So the kinetic feel is what I was trying to capture. And so, I have some stuff that gets close to what I was trying to do. But maybe when I get really old, I'll get better. I think actually, by all accounts, Professor Longhair was best just prior to his death. He was actually really excellent when I saw him, weeks before he died. He was amazing. So I don't know.
Peaked at the right time.
That'd be a good way to go out, I guess.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So there's your homework for this time. Look up Professor Longhair on Google.
Yeah. Buy that album. You'll not be disappointed.
There you go. So also, I asked you a little about the finger picking. Did that style just develop, or you said you started off finger picking? Was that you self-taught, or did you study anybody with that? Or
no, I never. It was just all pretty much self-taught. The funny thing is, in Kansas, you'd be hard pressed to find, in Kansas City, you probably find 3 or 4 bare-fingered guitar players, certainly on acoustic. Almost everybody plays with a flat pick.
Absolutely.
In that part of the world. And it really wasn't until I came to Ohio where I went down to Akron, and the closer you get to the Appalachians, I guess, everybody got on stage, at these open mics. We're playing bare-fingered. They all were playing rags and these Piedmont tunes. And it's, I finally figured out, okay, what I'm doing is kind of Piedmont frailing-ish stuff. But, I didn't know what to call it. I thought I was inventing it. Well, just goes to show. Yeah.
Louis Armstrong said it's all same old refried beans anyway. It doesn't matter what we do, and you do think you're unique. And there's somebody's done it already, but you still have a very unique twist on what you do. It stands out.
Well, I think it does, and it is starting to get to the point where I can put it across, and people don't wonder what it is. They kind of they at least they can kind of understand it. There's some really great venues in Cleveland that I've gotten a chance to play in that that really appreciate it. And so I've gotten kind of a following, I think, in Cleveland,
that's nice.
Which has been a real surprise to me since I don't really live here.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to bring that up. This is Ohio homegrown.
Yeah.
And I guess we're just going to call you a hybrid because you're here most of the time and you do most of your playing in Ohio, right?
I pretty much do all my playing in Ohio. I travel here for work, and I'm here, 3 days a week, pretty much. And so I get, most of the acoustic opportunities to play are weekday opportunities. So there are not a lot of, weekend gigs in venues. The thing about Kansas City is it's a blues town. I mean,
Okay.
I like the blues. I love to dance to the blues. I love to listen to the blues. But I can't play the
Just
blues.
don't play the blues, yeah.
And, I mean, I might be able to kind of dress a little different and pretend a little and say, oh yeah, I'm a country blues player, but I'm really not. Well, I did manage to, for the first time in a really long time, I did play out in Kansas City last week, and I went to a blues jam and, broke in and played an acoustic set in the middle of the blues jam. And if you think that my style is, strange for people who came to hear folk, you ought to see a blues crowd respond. They're like,
Just for getting it, huh?
I think, they got it. I mean, it was fun, and a lot of people did enjoy it, I think, but they were definitely like, okay.
It's a left turn. It's definitely a left turn, yeah, it's for sure.
So that was
But anyway, well, while we're here talking about it, why don't you play a couple more tunes for us?
I'd love that. Sounds great.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to take a little break. When we come back, Scott's going to play a little more.
Headlights beaming like burning balls of fire. Headlights beaming like burning balls of fire. Steering wheel are rumbling to the music on the wire. Moon on the highway is glowing like a stone.
Okay, we're back, and Scott's going to play a couple songs for us. His first song is called
It's called Another Man.
Another Man. Scott Stuewe.
Could have been born another man, another Jerry Dick or Dan. Could have been born another man from another mama. There could have been the slightest tune that I could have taken. There could have been the slightest tune that I could have taken. There could have been the slightest tune, could have taught what I would have learned. Could have been born another man from another mama. Might have been thrown around the moon in a spinning circle. Might have been thrown around the moon in a spinning circle. Might have been thrown around the moon above a tent on a shadowed dune. Could have been born another man from another mama. Might have been rose gonna cotton eating picking. Might have been rose gonna cotton eating picking. I might have been rolled on a cotton and all the fields are rotten. Could have been Could have had on the warm nights when the wind was colder. Could have had on the warm nights. Could have had you in my sights. Could have been born another man from another mama. There's a shoe kicking round on the road behind me. There's a shoe kicking round on the road behind me. There's a shoe kicking round, never saw who laid it down. Could have been born another man from another mama. Could have been born another man, another kind of man. Could have been born another man, another kind of man. Could have been born another man, another Jerry, Dick, or Dan. Could have been born another man from another mama. Could have been born another man from another mama. Could have been born another man from another mama. When I see you, I don't know where I've been. I got the keys to Lowe's amnesia. Did it snow in November? I really don't remember. And did I used to walk around alone? Just woke up, coffee in my cup. I don't know where I've been. When I'm with you, I don't know where I've been. How did I used to get along? Was there a place where I didn't see your face? In a world so long ago, can't recall if I was ever there at all. 'Cause I don't know where I've been. Things are not what they used to be. Since the first time we danced, I looked at you and you looked at me. Now everything else is a mystery.
once again, Scott Stuewe. Scott, thanks for coming to the show.
All right, thank
really
you.
appreciate you having you here.
All right.
All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. It was a pleasure having Scott on the show this month. He has a very unique finger-picking style. We hope you enjoyed it. And once again, thanks for coming to Ohio Homegrown.